Hey everyone, Geoffrey here again with another interview. This one we have Stipe. So Stipe is from Croatia. For those of you who don't know, that's where I think Game of Thrones was shot, King's Landing.
Yeah.
If you look at Stipe, he looks like a Game of Thrones character, sounds like it too. So I hope you enjoy this one. But Stipe, I guess I want to start off with just for you to outline how things were like before you met me, before you even met me in YouTube, before you joined the program.
Mm.
What
Yeah.
was your situation like here?
So I would say back then I had in my perception, really good relationship, a good situation with my wife. I was really happy at my work. I'm quite successful working in some big global international company, let's say middle management, and it was quite okay. I had my first son, 2 years old, and then practically one day I had my, let's say, D-Day, so to say, where my wife approached me, but she was quite depressed for some time and anxious and, let's say, having some issues where I didn't address it. I detected it, but I didn't address it. And then she just come to me and said, listen, I need to talk to you. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. So I was, let's say, starstruck. Everything fell apart. How come I'm this great guy providing in your life, giving you whatever you want? You can have everything, and then you have nice life. You have and let's say child 2 years old, and from where is this coming from? And then let's say just so from place of happiness to place of total hopelessness, and let's say not finding any happiness in life in these days. So I was quite erratic, mood swinging all over the place. I was difficult to be working with at my job place, and everything was practically falling apart, right? And then immediately our only, let's say, action back then was to provide some space for each other, and then we separated for 1 whole month approximately. And this was really difficult, for me, because in the past I did have an issue where I detected it, that I was this quite controlling guy, and during this separation, I didn't have a control over anything, and it was really hell on earth for me. Then I started to, let's say, find solutions because let's say I'm a quite analytical guy, and finding solutions in books, in the YouTube. And then I was finding quite a lot of, let's say, quick fix coaches, solutions. What do you need to do to bring her back, to make her fall in love with you again? You need to make, don't do eye contact, don't speak with her, don't do anything, pull away and show her that you are this great guy. And if somebody is not accepting you the way you are, then you need to discard this person. This is this societal programming. You're not accepting me. I mean, go away. And then I found some. I was on some forum, and then somebody saying, "Listen, there is some Asian guy, Geoffrey."
Which forum was it? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't know. It was quite. It was last July.
Yeah.
That everything was happening. And then first video that I saw was your video about fundamental attributional error, which is immediately I detected myself immediately. I mean, whoever is seeing this video, I believe 99% of the people will see themselves, because it is, let's say, how our brain is operating, but we are not aware of it, right?
So I'm gonna link it down below, guys, in case you want to see that video again. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. And then okay, I found a video about 5 pillars and so on, and then I, let's say, detected that okay, this is some guy that is providing me some additional value, some tools or skills how to first address me, and not, let's say, what you need to do to bring, I don't know, your wife back or whoever, just fixing me. And this is why I joined your this masterclass that you have, your, let's say, pitch class. And then everything just fell into places, and then, let's say, this is for me.
Okay.
and I was quite happy. And then I begged, okay, let me just pass my interviews with you guys. Let me just have a green light to go inside, you know?
Yeah, I want to go back to a few points of your story. Before we go on, Stipe, there's like a little flicker on your screen. I don't know if you have another device or like another webcam that you can use. If not, that's totally fine. But I just want to make sure.
Yeah, let me remove my probably it's cell phone or something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Let's try now. But I see it's not. It's something, maybe driver issue or something.
Yeah. So if there's no other device, that's totally fine.
No,
you want to continue?
No device.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. I'll probably keep this part in just so people can understand like the flicker, the background behind the flicker. But like, okay, so basically in July, you were noticing something kind of off with your partner, right? She was kind of standoffish, very quiet.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she dropped a bomb on you saying, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore.
Yeah.
You mentioned to me that you at first did a lot of like very toxic behaviors, right? Did you actually buy some other program, or did you just watch videos and consume those content as well?
I never bought this. Your program was the first thing that I invested in, and let's say try to better me. But I did, let's say, search, and I did jump to quite a lot of coaches, and I had some psychiatrists back then helping me, let's say, to go through this whole part of my life. But the main issue is that she only provided, let's say, how should I treat my emotions, right? Not how should I treat, let's say, my paradigms not to get these emotions. So this was like, let's say, it's quite normal that you feel that way and then leave it be. I mean, okay, or you shouldn't feel that way. Okay, I shouldn't. What now? I know that I shouldn't, but what now? I needed some, let's say, tool, something.
And I think I'm going to write this down because I think that's a very important conversation around what it means to be bulletproof. So what it means to actually be bulletproof and manage your emotions, and kind of the misconceptions people have about it, and why a lot of people cannot do it. They find themselves stuck in this cycle where they know they're not supposed to feel a certain thing. They know they're not supposed to do a certain thing, but they can't help it. In a moment, they just lose it. They regret it. They promise harder. They break their promise. They feel even more guilty. It's just a bad cycle to be in.
A bad cycle, yeah.
Okay, let me put that down. But okay, perfect. And then what I also want to talk about too is how you said you really played the high value man card. You really believed in this high value man card, right?
Yes.
How did that belief come about for you think?
And even I was, let's say, blatantly, I was expressing it. Oh, my wife wouldn't do anything against our marriage or something because I'm this huge provider. She has everything. Because this was, let's say, my conception that quality man, if he is providing, if he makes her wife happy, everything is fine. But we never did talk in our society, or I never found some information that, okay, what my wife, what she's thinking that she will make her happy. Is it money, or is it, let's say, some safety or some security, or let's say, how we are communicating, am I listening at all, or something like that. I never detected. I had huge blind spots in my, let's say, my operation.
I think what you're saying is like your idea of what it means to be a high value man. I think it's, of course, like just like anyone, it comes from society, upbringing, peers, media, whatever it is. But we have this very vague understanding of what it means. We picture this person who's like uber confident, always knows, very assured, can provide monetary value, whatever it is. Manly man kind of guy.
Macho, yes.
Macho. And we have this very generic understanding. But because of the generic understanding, you're saying like that led to a lot of blind spots for you, and where you were actually not creating that much value, and maybe creating the wrong types of value, but you didn't even realize it because you can shroud it under this guise of I am a confident, high value man according to the vanity metrics that society defines it to be, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I had a huge amount of tough truths back then. She told me then, do you understand that you never look into my eyes when we talk? Do you detect that you don't listen at all? You immediately jump into a middle of my sentence and provide solution. How can you know solution when you don't listen me until the end of what I want to say?
Yeah.
And then, what do you mean I don't look you in the eye? Or, I don't know, you are so pulled away, you have, tough situations in work. We don't talk about it. You don't share your experiences because you are this high value, you are this type of man that are closed. You don't want to share your emotions, because if you share your emotions, then you are, let's say, this weak guy,
Yeah. So let's talk about the details of that high value man kind of rhetoric and what we need to change about that a bit later. But then, so you try to do all these very toxic things like logically justify, which is what caused the breakdown of your relationship in the first place. But you did it anyway because you thought that was the only way you knew how to do. So then you guys separated for a month, and in separation, something woke you up there, right? Where you realized, okay, this has been a pattern in my life, in my relationships for so long. This cannot just be other people anymore. This has to be some part of me. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what I don't know, but there has to be something. Was that kind of the wake-up call there?
Precisely. Not my relationship, but my relationships. Because by this societal programming, immediately when I had some failed relationship, she didn't accept me the way I am. So she's not worth of me. I need to discard her. And then one girl passed, second, third, fourth, and then everything is, is passing. And I was like, okay, I'm this great guy. People like me. I have a lot of friends, a huge peer group. I'm fun guy. But then, okay, surely something wrong with them. And then this time, something just break inside of me and said, listen, is there something, just small thing that you are missing, that you are not detecting, and that is causing you this havoc in your life, in your relationship? And then I started to think about it, and I had I'm really happy that I jumped, that I found your program, and it's really helping me hugely.
It seems like you realized it wasn't just one thing that you're missing. It was a lot of things. And I think that's the part that I want to stress for a lot of people too. Because a lot of men hide under this notion that, I'm successful in business. I'm successful in so many other areas of life. My friends like me. My family likes me. I get along with everybody, but my wife doesn't like me. And you get to have this excuse. It's like, well, if that's the case, you're just an exception wifey, right? Yeah. But what you don't understand is the relationship you have with your wife is the most intimate, is the closest. And that's the relationship where people get to see who you really are. You can have business relationships. You can have any other relationships. They don't know who you really are, right? It's not that intimate. So of all the relationships that you should look at, should be your relationship with your wife or your partner, because they know you best. They know the ugly side of you. They know the best side of you. They know the worst side of you. Yeah. And you need to listen to feedback on that front more than anything, right? And so if you are finding yourself in a position like Stipe, where you're like, I'm good everywhere else, but not in my relationship, 100%, there's something wrong there, 100%. Yeah. Because I think if your friends, if your colleagues, if everybody knew you as well as your wife, I don't think they would be treating you as well. Right? Yeah. That's a crucial understanding.
Completely agree. Completely.
So that was around July to around November, because you joined the program in November. So that was around July, between July to November of last year. Now we're at July 16th, 2022. So pretty much a year after you noticed the problem here.
Yes.
Tell me how things are like now. How have things changed?
It's like an anniversary, right? I mean, we are living together. We are having, let's say, I would say our climate is really in a positive trend. We are having, like every couple ups and downs, and we are addressing our issues more openly and in front. We don't do like in the past where we, let's say, quickly addressed our issues, don't really talk about it, don't finding solutions about it. But let's say everybody said what I or she needs to say, and then we pushed it under the rug. We are now openly addressing it. I would say that each day my wife is having more and more, let's say, emotional safety and psychological safety to express her thoughts and her issues with me. We never did that in the past. In this, let's say, in this year, we let's say, if you take 8 years in total, we never talked as much as we did in this year, and
so you're saying like
so many topics.
Yeah, it's like 7 months. In 7 months, we went deeper in our conversations than the last 8 years.
Yeah.
But I noticed here also, when you're describing your current situation, you're not using the word reconcile, because that word doesn't exist in our program, right? It's like it's a bunch of BS, because people always think about reconciliation as this very climactic event. One moment where like you win a game or something, it's like, yeah, and then you high five your guys.
And that's it. and that's it.
But it's not. It's a very slow progression. It's very anticlimactic. There's no like moment of getting back together. It's really just a slow burn of both people slowly changing the culture of the relationship, starting with you in this case, and then slowly coming together. It's almost like spinning a flywheel, right?
Yeah.
Imagine this a giant flywheel, and you're spinning it, and eventually it spins so fast. And then someone comes to you and asks, which spin made it go so fast? Like, none of them, all of them. I don't know. I just kept doing it every day. And you can't pinpoint it to one event, right? One tipping point event. Go ahead.
And this is what I wanted to say, that this reconciliation would mean that we are over with our process, and then everything is fine. And then let's go back to our old self from the way we used to operate. No, this is for me. This is for me just the program, my personal growth program that is bettering me in every way. And if my relationship is following along my growth, great. I'm doing everything I can to change this flywheel, and then this, let's say, loops to from negative to positive, to these emotional loops, and how we are operating in our life. If it's following, great. But this is only for me and for bettering me.
Yeah,
so this is why I
love that. I think the other thing I want to point out too about kind of the way you're telling it too is, and I noticed this with a lot of my clients too. When you first join, reconciliation is like the top of your list. All right, this is you want to reconcile so bad. That's your highest mountain and everything like that. But then you start to understand, you start to feel also that if you work on yourself, you are actually reaching for a higher mountain, higher peak. Meaning that if you can do this, if you can really better yourself, this becomes a natural artifact.
Yes.
It's like, if you can shoot for the stars, then you can get to the moon. That's fucking easy, right? And you have this nonchalance about you of like, well, yeah, of course I'll reconcile. That will happen, right? As long as I keep becoming replaceable, that's totally that will just come naturally. I love that. I love that the different levels of accomplishments that people are talking about. But I want to look at the first point here, which is something you said very interesting to me, which is that this is something that you're doing for yourself. And that was the biggest, I think, realization that you have, because I think when you first told your wife about this program, she thought this program was some sort of manipulation program, right? Tell me about that story.
Surely, because I remember when she asked me, of course, what is the name of the program? I said relationship revival, and then, okay, you are in this quest to revive our relationship in whatever way you can, right? And then I said, but okay, it's not only our relationship, but my relationship with my peers, my parents, my friends, maybe some future relationship, but of course I would like that our relationship revives, but it is not, let's say, solely purpose and sole outcome and goal that I want to achieve. Not anymore. So this is why, let's say, maybe it's let's say your program name is, let's say,
let's change it.
Refocusing people from, let's say, the sole intention to better themselves, not only relationship.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Because it is. So I think the takeaway that I want people to have, and the thing I want you to guys keep in mind here, is that if you try to save your relationship directly, you're trying to learn tactics, you're trying to learn scripts, you're trying to see like, what can I say, what can I do right now to try to change my partner's mind? Your partner can sniff that from a mile away, right? And everything you do will just seem very ingenuine. And we always say, like, if you try to save your relationship directly, ironically, you will never save it, because nothing you do will ever be believable. But if you can really turn inward and really do this for yourself, and not for the relationship, ironically, that's when you reconcile, because everything you do will seem very, very natural there. And that's why in the program, we really prioritize untethering first. So untethering yourself from trying to manufacture an outcome into being obsessed with the process. So we always say the term, do not do because you want to have, do because you are. And that's the number one step to untethering. It's like you get to that place where you do because you are, and only then can you actually do something. Yeah. So I guess for you, because a lot of people, their fear too is, should I tell my partner about the program? Right? Obviously, you didn't fear that because you did that. What were you thinking? What made you just go like, oh, let me just tell you up front what this is?
You know what? Where is the let's say I had a situation that my wife really was, let's say, enjoying these psychological stories and mindsets and how to better themselves in the past, and she quite often express it in a way with me that, you know, why I learned about this and that, and in the past I immediately, oh, this is some psychological mumbo jumbo, you know, discard it, like I didn't take, let's say, consider it even. And she used to say to me, you laughed about all of this, you know. And then I figured out, okay, now that I'm really doing this and I finding the value in this huge value, I will be free to express it, that I'm also working on myself, and that I'm sorry that I immediately in the past I, let's say, discarded her intentions. Maybe perhaps she also had an intention to better me in a way when she talked about a lot of these things. In the past I just didn't listen, because societal misconception, you are the great the way you are. Why do you need to learn about all of this? Because you are really great, you know?
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is, you knew when you got into the program and you started learning the principles, that you always were dismissive about your partner's desire to talk about what are actually topics in the program, right? Like mindset topics, psychological topics that are in the program, and you always like scoff that. So you knew that when you started learning the same things in the program, you're like, why am I not talking about this with her, right? Like I have to, and I have to show her that like I'm open to this stuff. For the first time in my life, for the first time in a relationship, I have to show her that I'm actually interested in what she's interested in, and I have to be open about this, because this is how you change. But
I want to just say something.
Yeah,
sorry, Geoffrey, just say something that really is interesting for me. Not to get, let's say, to the audience some false image that I'm some crazy guy, you know, full of toxicity, right? I found myself, and people around me, and even my wife, found myself as a good guy. But I found myself in every lesson of a toxic behavior, every lesson, every
module of the program, you're saying?
I found myself in some percentage, and I was the good guy, you know? So this is why the people need to understand that you always have something to work on, something that is troubling your life, something that is pulling you down, and you are not seeing it directly because you are just blind to it. You are not aware of it.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. It almost reminds me of kind of my life, because in life, there's always levels. A lot of people are different levels. Let's talk about this in terms of monetary and entrepreneurship success too. Because, you know, when I was first starting, I wanted to just make like 200 grand a year. That's all I wanted to do, right? But then 200 grand quickly, now we're at making like $3 million a year. And I realized that at every level of earnings, people think very differently. Their business operates very differently. And if you're at $200,000 a year, often, unless you're very open-minded, you can't understand what people are operating at $3 million a year operate like. Or in this case, like even me at $3 million a year, I cannot even imagine how like a Jeff Bezos or how, all the little things that you cannot see, you cannot understand unless you live it in their life. You don't understand what that means, but what that feels like, right? And it's almost like a lot of people in relationships too, where you don't know what you don't know. So a lot of people are like operating at this level, and they look at people operating at this level, like you, for example. They cannot really pinpoint what the difference is. So they just say the convenient saying that they have is just like, oh, they're just luckier. They're just different. My situation's a bit special.
Yeah.
Right? My situation's a bit different than his. But it's like, no, you don't understand. Like, it's all these tiny little things that all add up together that you don't even know that you're missing right now. And that's kind of very humbling experience, I think, that you had. It's like all these small things. Yeah.
And a really important thing is also, let's say, what also, at least in my society, in my country, but I would say globally, people are looking or discussing their relationships with other people, right? And they never think about whether these people are having enough quality to give them good advice. You know, that you will not go to fix your laptop to bakery guy, right? You will go immediately to some guy who has some knowledge about it. But we usually discuss our relationships with some our friends that seemingly to us is having good relationship. Perhaps they are not having. Perhaps they have their own toxicities, their own issues, and we immediately take these advices like something that is okay. It's on my bandwagon. Surely this is the case. We never reevaluate to whom we are speaking, to whom we are getting the advices, and what is our mindset.
I fell in the same trap too early on, because I always spent a lot of money, and I'm pretty open about this and trying to save my relationship, learning about a lot of stuff. And even now, what I realize is we get a lot of dropouts from other programs, other therapists. Like you see this a lot. Oh, I'm a marriage helper dropout. Oh, I'm a bulletproof husband dropout. I tried all these other programs. I dropped out of that. Here's the program that I follow, and here's what got me results. What you need to understand too, people who are listening to this, right? Because a lot of people think relationship programs are relationship programs. They see mine as like $3,000 right now, maybe more later, I don't know. But they see others at like $1,000. And they go, well, which one can I afford? So they go to the $1,000 one. But the $1,000 one is not like it's 33% effective.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes if you buy other programs, it'll actually push you further in the wrong direction. So it's not like it's a less potent version of a drug. This is an anti-drug sometimes. And that's why sometimes, like when people go into the program, I have to let them unlearn so many things. Like forget everything you learned. Pretend you didn't even learn it. In fact, pretend like whatever you learned is wrong and just learn the stuff. But the moment they can surrender to that, that's when stuff begins to change for them. And I think you had to go through that surrender moment too. And I want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
About that moment that you started to wake up and realize that, ooh, I don't know what I don't know. Something has to be, I need to look in within myself here, right? I have to wake up. What? Because I think the hard part is you have so many factors in your life that makes it easy for you to play victim. And I think just to define what victim mindset is a bit for people, playing victim is not you taking often this weak position. It's not. Victim mindset often shrouds itself as a powerful thing. For example, right? Playing victim basically means that you're trying to blame everything outside of yourself, other people, circumstances, things you can't control, on why things are happening to you, right? Oh, my relationship is breaking down. Can't be me. Has to be my wife. Has to be that maybe we met at the wrong time. has to be that maybe my situation is unique, whatever it is, right? So what people need to understand is that victim mindset sometimes disguises itself in a very powerful state. So for example, when you think you're the perfect person and you think you're all powerful, nothing is wrong with you, so your relationship is breaking down, you straight away go, oh, it can't be me, I'm perfect, so it has to be you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you don't feel weak there. In fact, you feel powerful. But that's you playing victim.
Yeah.
Another example of how people fall into victim mindset is the unique circumstances, right? Oh, I don't know if it's my partner or me, but the reason why our relationship is not as good as it needs to be is because of all these reasons that you can think of. Oh, because we had a miscarriage. Oh, because my partner has depression. Oh, because the economy is really bad right now. Oh, you don't understand, Jeff. My situation is very, very dire, very unique, right? It's a lot worse than all the thousands of people you enroll every year. It's worse than that. Basically, your situation is special. That's another way you play victim. You point it to something outside of yourself. Equal blame illusion. We talk about in the program. Oh, she's not trying to work on the relationship, so why should I? She's not initiating, so why should I? Yeah. All these things. It makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel powerful because the problem is not you. You're saying the problem is not you. It's everything else but you. But what people don't understand is when you play victim like that, you're also saying your partner, your friends, government, all these things outside of your control, they define the path of my life. They define how my life will go. Right? So while it makes you feel powerful, instantly, when you say that, you're relinquishing control. You're giving up control and you're saying, I'm just drifting through the wind right now. Yep. Wherever the tide takes me, I'll go. Because I have no control over the government, everything. I have no control over that. Right? That's why we play the victim. We call it playing the victim. Because you had at that point, Stipe, all these people telling you you're a great guy. This is really on her. If she doesn't respect you, just go. What made you snap out of that?
Just this notion that I'm just going through my life on some autopilot. Like whatever is happening around me or to me is something that is some special circumstance just for me. And this is my life is like this because of this outside actions, right? And this just went through the subtles, right? Like I used to say, not just in my relationship, but I used to say, oh, my friends are having a better start in life than me because I immediately as I had my first job, I needed to take a loan to help my mother in her life because I lost my father, and then I needed to pay for the bills that we were left after the death and so on. And I was just in this mindset, oh, everybody's having a happy time, good time, but I have an issue because I'm having bad time because, I have this special circumstance that I have a loan when I started with my life. This is just subtle. This mindset is just poisoning you in life. And then it's just in the relationship wise, usually whenever she's expressing something to me, she used to express something to me, immediately I was feeling like, why are you saying this to me at the first place? Why is there an issue? Did I put salt here or there? I never addressed. I immediately take this victim mindset. Oh, I did everything yesterday or day before. Now you're saying me this. I never thought about what is she trying to tell me? Just going through life on this autopilot. I didn't address any of my thoughts, any of my paradigms, just coasting.
It's like you didn't even know you were falling for the victim mindset.
I didn't know at all. Right. I didn't know what was, let's say, victim. I never would say for myself that I am victim at anything. Now I can say openly, I was a victim of quite a lot of my false paradigms and mindsets.
But it's interesting you mentioned that because it kind of goes to show too how easy it is to fall into the victim mindset because it's so tempting to do that.
It's
we talk about, how's that?
it's rewarding, you know.
It's rewarding. And I think we talked
Yeah.
about that in the program as like why humans tend to adopt bad habits throughout their life, but they often adopt it unknowingly. And then it's so hard to get rid of bad habits, right? Because if you look at any bad habits, just do a thought experiment, guys, right? If you think about any bad habits, like victim blaming, it could be blaming people's character. It could be getting angry. It could be smoking. It could be pornography. It could be sexual addiction. Anytime you're addicted to a bad habit, you'll realize that the behavior is rewarding in the short term, but punishing you in the long term.
Yeah.
So rewarding short term, punishing in the long term, right? If you look at any good habits, any healthy habits like eating healthy, not playing victim, not controlling your emotions, not watching porn, right? Building a business, eating healthy, whatever it is, they always punish you in the short term, but they reward you only in the long term. So look at that, right? The bad habits reward you in the short term, punish you later. Good habits punish you now, give you good later.
Yeah.
Your body, because it's designed this way, will naturally gravitate towards bad habits. And so sometimes when we play victim, we have to realize that the instant reward you get is, oh, I get to feel better about myself and I get to shift blame. I don't have to feel bad about myself. I get to feel powerful. Great. And I only feel the effects of it later, down the line, like 10 years down the line. I might get divorced. Sure.
Yeah.
Let me do it. Right.
Basically, in quite a lot of our arguments, this victim mindset just pushed me in a way. Okay, I will now stonewall her. I will show my masculinity here. I said last what I needed to say. My is final, and then this goes on and on and on. Okay, it was in my perception. Oh, this argument went well because I found a quick solution. This is final, and that's it. And I was just blind to what is this building slowly and what will happen in last July, which is we just cracked the whole window in front of me, whole vitrage just cracked open, and then I was just, oh my God, what an idiot was I! Oh my God.
Yeah. What? So you woke up, like the moment that you woke up when you said, this can't be other people, this can't be other things anymore, this has to be me, I have to look inward, happened before the program, right? Tell me that evolution of like the moment you woke up to eventually that led you to buy the program. Like, how did you slowly become aware of all these ways that you're playing victim? Like, what was the route that you took?
So let's say, I always say when I discuss with my friends now about the program, I always say this video of fundamental attribution letter, because I was this guy. And even your example of when you see other guy driving really fast beside you, you immediately think, oh, look at this idiot. But when I'm driving like this, I have some issue that I want to attend, why I'm driving this fast. I have some reason why I'm doing this. So I'm the good guy, but he's an idiot when he's doing. And this mindset was like, okay, this is me. Surely this mindset, let's say, I always say FAA is victimization 2.0, just advanced victimization. Yes, advanced. Yeah. That I was a lot of times just angry at these persons driving like crazy around me. Now I'm completely zero anger. And then when I detected that in this pathway that I'm heading, I'm having, let's say, better, even this small thing. Surely this is a reason for quite a lot of other things that is happening around me. Yeah. So this was, let's say, this first video was, let's say, somehow, I don't know why, maybe some enlightenment in it that way, but this was what hooked me. And then this is why I prayed to your team to accept me into the program, because I was really afraid that you will find some reason why maybe I'm not eligible for this. And I was quite happy. I remember when I even called my wife and said, listen, I got accepted.
I got
into
in.
this program.
It's like
I got
getting into
in.
the
She was
university, you know?
saying, oh, okay, great. No, she didn't know why. She was happy for me, but she didn't know what is going on, you know?
Yeah.
And this was really revelation for me, you know. And then in the program, practically, I found when I started to find myself in every module, just in this first phase, it just reinforced that my opinion that I have quite a lot of stuff to address, you know, inside.
It's interesting you say that, and about like how you felt happy for being enrolled in the program, because right now, statistically speaking, we enroll less than like 10% of people who apply. Very small number, right? Because I would reject your money at any day if I don't feel like you're ready, right? Yeah. And the part that I think we look for is what makes people ready is when people are humble enough to have experienced those moments of when they think, you know, it's a very humbling experience when you experience like this moment where you think you know something, like you're convinced you know something, right? And then later you realize that what you know is completely false. And then you extrapolate that to go, if I was so sure about this and I was so wrong about this, how many things that I'm sure of am I wrong about? And how many things do I not know that I don't even know I don't know, right? That is a very humbling experience, because that's where you get this almost like identity crisis where you don't even trust what you know anymore, right? Yeah. And that's where that pain from that is, I think, where people become a lot more receptive to actually learning new things, right? If you haven't experienced that, you haven't experienced the pain of living the way you are, of thinking the way you are, life hasn't given you a hard enough slap in the face. I can teach you the most revolutionary things, but nothing will stick. So we see like people are still in this mindset where they're still stubborn. They haven't let go of their own ego. They haven't gone out of their own way. We're like, dude, save your money. We can't give you results anyway. I can't do anything for you, right?
But you need to be aware of it, because quite in an example, let's say in some arguments, when we are going back and forth, we are giving our arguments, let's say our factors why we think certain way, and then you are so sure that your way of thinking is 100% correct, and then somebody said to you something that completely just was missing and changes whole your argument, and then you say, oh, I didn't know that, but you were so sure, oh, I didn't know that, and then you, okay, I agree, you are right. This was the mindset, my mindset usually, and I didn't detect that this was some problem. Okay, I didn't know that, and this is why I changed my opinion. But why in the first place I never took a bigger picture? I was just following my path of thinking.
I like
why in the first place?
There's actually two steps where we're trying to outline here, right? And you outline that really well. So it's because a lot of people will say in that example, well, no, if someone pointed out my problem, I would admit it. Sure. Yeah. But that's not the point. If you're still there, like you don't understand it, right? What you're saying is, okay, not only do you admit that you didn't understand in that moment, but you gotta go one step deeper here and say, why was I so stubborn in the first place? Why wasn't my mindset going into, let me discover it from other people's perspective first? Why did this person have to scream at me, to yell at me, to like tell me multiple times before I listened? Why is that? Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Why are you just hooked up in some your paradigms, in some you are just like having your opinion on everything, and this is your opinion, and you don't want to even look about some other stuff, and just it goes in whole your life. In example, in the past, I could never imagine myself going dance lessons, never, because
how tall are you, by the way, Stipe?
In centimeters, 184. I don't know how it's in the 184 centimeters.
Yeah, people can do the math,
average,
whatever.
average height, you know. But in general, you know, because especially in our society, in this my region, we are masculine guys, and what do you mean that the guys are going dancing? Well, I mean, why? you know and then I was just following this sense, okay, if you are going dancing, surely something is wrong with you, maybe you're not masculine enough. And this is just, and I wouldn't even think about going something in this direction. And then in program, what I also learned, that I have one life. Why should I limit my life, my experiences to just one thing? Why shouldn't I broaden my views, let's say, you also used to say I would never jump out of the plane. Why should I? Now I'm just waiting for the situation.
Yeah.
Just experience it.
But it's not just about limiting your life. It limits your partner's life. It limits your relationship. It limits everything. It limits your friendship. So I want to kind of wrap up this whole topic on like the victim mindset. Basically, guys, again, it's so easy for your mind to be in the victim mindset. You're always going to have all these excuses, all these reasons that your brain is making on why your situation is different, special, why you can't do this, why yours is dire somehow, why is other people's fault, other things' fault, whatever it is. But just know that that's your brain playing out a bad habit. Like legit, is your brain playing out a bad habit because it is you relinquishing control in the future. And you're going to cause more damage in the future. That's going to eventually, all those debts that you're racking up, you're going to have to pay those debts, right? Be careful of that. So, and the way you shift yourself out of it is just by being aware and being humble of what the victim mindset is and how you have to just be humble enough to realize that whatever you think you know, whatever excuses you're making right now, all those excuses you're making is bred out of the same thinking, the same paradigms that actually caused the problems in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're so convinced that like your situation is so different, so unique, think again. Allow other people to give you another perspective. Be open to another perspective. And you realize that no situation is that dire. It doesn't take two to tango. All these misconceptions that you believed in the past is not true about what it means to be a high value man, which is the next topic. So I want to talk about that because in society now, there's this very, very bad movement going on about what being a high value man is. And I don't think this is new, but I think with media, a lot of younger men are being exposed to this kind of very primitive definition of what it means to be a high value man. And so we talked a bit about what you thought was a high value man before, which is like being a good provider, knowing your stuff, giving solutions, being confident, just all the vanity ways of being a high value man. And then how you didn't even want to dance, didn't want to talk about emotions, all these things. That's weak man stuff.
Yeah.
How has your definition changed from before to now?
I think that for me, the high value man, person or man, is just the one who is there present in the moment for their partner, somebody who is providing her safety to express any issue that she might have, to provide her security in this way, not in a way that I provide security with my muscles or with my, I don't know, my gun.
Yeah.
But security to have that she is confident that I can, with our communication, that we can have win-win solutions together. And then security that with this mindset, I can provide good and healthy life for her and for our child or whoever is part of our, let's say, domestic environment, right? Not the one who is just, of course, it is good that if you can provide, financially, but this is something that is completely secondary for me in my perception now.
Yeah.
Because we have quite a lot of, I have quite a lot of friends that their wives or girlfriends are happy with them completely, and they don't provide that much, but they provide this stuff that I was not even aware that I should.
Yeah.
And
I've been thinking so much about this topic because there's a whole movement now called the red pill movement. Have you heard about that?
Is this the anti-abortion movement?
No. So basically, like, guys, I don't know if you watch, like, I'm sure people watching this would know guys like Andrew Tate, right? Like they're very hyper masculine. Like women are my are objects.
Yeah.
All right. I like all these weird ways of defining what power and masculinity is. And I'm thinking a lot about that because, I see people's evolution into 3 stages usually. So the first stage is really the beta stage, right? This is where you see yourself as inferior to other people, inferior to other men. The beta males are here. This is when you're needy, when you're desperate. I think a lot of people start off their journey here. Like in early life, everyone kind of becomes needy at first. But then the second stage, ironically, is when you go the other extreme of becoming hyper masculine. You gain your independence, but you use your independence in a very selfish way. And I think if you look at a lot of toxic masculine ideologies, it's always here, where I'm powerful, I earn a lot of money, I can get everything I need myself, I don't need anybody else, right? But you use this in a very selfish way. You use it to prop yourself up, to make yourself feel good, to make yourself better, to make yourself whatever. And then whoever's around you, you just shoot them down. You don't care. In fact, sometimes you don't even care about what they do. It's all about you here, right? You feel powerful, but you make the other person feel weak at the same time.
Yeah.
Then the third stage is when you go to the middle. This is when you have the selfless, or what we call noble independence, when you still have the same strength, the same power, the same value, but now you're actualized enough to use the value to help other people. Now, if you think about the 3 levels of evolution there, Stipe, it happens everywhere. Think about this. Let's look at this in terms of entrepreneurship. And at first, entrepreneurs are selfish. They want money, they want money, they want money. Eventually, they outgrow that stage. It might take years, but they outgrow that stage to become selfish entrepreneurs. They get a lot of money now. They have influence. And I was there. Then they buy a bunch of shit, right? They use their money and they use their money to brag and show off and everything like that. Yeah. Let me buy things for myself. Let me help myself. But then eventually entrepreneurs evolve to the third stage, which is a noble independence, where you now earn even more money. But now you're thinking about, how can I use this money to help people? How can I use the money for charitable things? How can I do some good in the world? The same evolution. Same thing if you look at parenting. Needy first, selfish, and then when you become a parent, you got to be noble independent, right? So this noble independence is really the final stage. It's like the best stage. And a lot of toxic masculine people are here, where they're like building themselves but shooting people down, right? But is that really the highest level of masculinity that we should aim for? I don't think so. There's another level there,
Yeah.
That's something that really interesting that I thought about. And if you look at the definition of what being a high value man is, like you said. So let's say you say to yourself, I'm a high value man because I make a lot of money. I can provide, but I can't provide emotional connection. I can't talk about emotions. I can't experience life with you. I can't dance with you, for example.
Yeah.
Right? I can't talk deeply about with you. I can't talk about how you feel, your future dreams, the softer things, the beta male stuff that people think about.
Yeah.
Look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. What level are you playing at? That way, you're just looking at survival needs. You're looking at very small needs, maybe esteem needs. But are you playing at the self-actualization needs? No. So if you want to be a toxic masculine, know that the only women you can attract, the only women who will care about you, are the women who are focused on the lower level stuff. Are the people who are focused on the lower level stuff, who only want the lower level stuff. But if you look at high value women today, your partner included, right? They can get the lower level stuff themselves. They don't need that. They can get money themselves. They can get esteem themselves. They can get respect themselves. Who cares? What they want are the higher level stuff. But you can only give the higher level stuff if you have outgrown yourself to the noble independent stage, where you can really play the higher level value. You can really play together along here, right?
And actually, she did say this to me. You know, I didn't have money before you. I can be in the same situations after you. I don't need your money.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Fair.
you were, that is true. That is true. And then, okay, this is not actually that I should provide what I should provide.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're going back to this question of like, well, how does men talking about emotions, men learning how to dance, all these things, how does it have to do with becoming like a higher value man exactly? Well, it should be obvious, right?
Yeah.
Your partner wants to feel the self-actualized, the full feelings of fulfillment from a relationship, emotional fulfillment, spiritual fulfillment. And to do that, you need to connect, right? If you're terrible, if you're just manly men, can't talk about emotions, can't talk about future goals, can't talk about anything deeper than just business and money and what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
You're robbing her of that higher level value. Right. And if you're so bubbled in your life to be like, oh, I don't do this, I don't do that, you can experience stuff together. You can't share experience.
Precisely.
You can't appreciate experience, right? It's so much to it. Like I say, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Precisely what happened actually to us. We had several things that we like to do. But an example, cycling, I started to cycle, and then she also did. And for the first time, we had some mutual stuff. She was quite happy about it. But then I started, okay, I don't bother anymore. I wouldn't cycle with her. So she was again pushed in the same situations that, okay, again, I don't have anything what I like with this guy to do. So I didn't find value in quite a lot of stuff which she used to express, to go shoppings, to go travelings, to go travel together. I was always finding some solution, some reason why we shouldn't travel that much. And then immediately something just clicked at her. Like, let's say we don't have anything in common in a way. And I needed to learn to also to find the value in quite a lot of stuff, which is actually easy when you think about for everything you think about, where you immediately are so extreme to reject. You can find actually, if you think enough, you can find the value.
It's easy, but at the same time hard, because in order to do that, right, you have to completely change the paradigm in which how you see the world, how you think, how you operate, right? So we talk about this notion of either you do it hypothetically, which is you do everything, you think, you go through life trying to confirm who you are today, trying to self-confirm everything that you know. Or do you go through life trying to challenge what you know, trying to be antithetic about it, right? Like, a lot of people are the same, they watch my videos. They look at me saying things like, no situation is unique or dire, but they look at it very hypothetically. They look at it as like, how in this video, in this hour-and-a-half interview that I have with you, Stipe, for example, a lot of people are going to be looking at what part of the story resonates with me now. But it's like, you should be looking at what part of the story challenges what I know. So this is the way you start to expand what you like or dislike. Right now, for example, like I don't judge anything. I don't judge food. Like, those people that you see, they only like one kind of movies. They only like one kind of food. They only like one kind of music. That's so sad. Your bubble is so tiny. You can appreciate most of the life, and you only live one life, and you choose to appreciate this tiny little bubble thing. It's like now it's like you can bring me anywhere. You can take me anywhere. I'll have fun. I'll generally have fun. I will generally love it. I can talk about democratic policies. I can talk about Republican policies. I can talk about pro-life, pro-choice. I will have fun with that person, because I'm not just here judging everything as like, oh my God, good or bad. I'm just like, hey, let me just experience life as it was supposed to be experienced. And that's such a freeing feeling, right?
Yes.
And to be with someone like that, I mean, talk about having fun wherever you go. Like, you can have deep connections wherever you go. Your partner can talk about deep feelings, can talk about makeup, can talk about whatever. She can feel so seen, so understood. That's what people are looking for, And if you can't do that, it's kind of a shame.
Yeah, to be understood. That's correct. Yeah. Quite a lot of stuff. but I wouldn't be aware of it on my autopilot mode that I used to be in. So I never questioned my thoughts.
Yeah.
My hypothetical mind was just so extreme. I like what I like. I don't like what I don't like. Accept me the way I am, or don't accept me at all. This is just this societal programming that is going on for I don't know how much, for my entire life.
Yeah. And I think I want to go to the next point, which is talking about like going against societal like misconceptions that people have about relationships, about what it means to reconcile. There's a lot of them. What I always say to this one, let me start here, is like, what's popular is not always true. Like something that's a popular idea is not always true. Popular ideas just mean that it's the most popular delusion of that time.
Yeah.
So we can talk about, for example, It Takes Two to Tango, even some simple things like setting boundaries, right? 5 love languages, smart contact, like all these things is like, it sounds good. It's a very popular ideas, but it doesn't work. What are some of the misconceptions that like really come up to you on what you believe before when you learn this program? You're like, oh, that's not right.
So 100% that it takes two to tango, 100%, because what I battled in the first, because okay, I'm working on myself, but if she doesn't follow, it means that I will not have any outcome, because I was so outcome oriented that I want to reconcile. And if she's not, let's say, participating, then whatever, there is no hope, Then when I just discarded this notion and started to work on myself, immediately she also didn't express in quite a lot of her, let's say, the toxic actions. She just didn't express them because I didn't push it in this direction. For example, just these common things in marriage around kitchen and so on. Why did you put it here, or why did you put it there? And basically, when I didn't where I started to change this environment of blaming or victimizing, she didn't also felt like a victim when I didn't do something.
Yeah.
She's also changing in a way. And of course, we are discussing quite a lot of what I learned in a way. And she's also, let's say, thinking about it because she, as I told you, she really likes these topics and so on. But I would say generically, people change their behavior when the situations changes for the better.
I love that.
Whoever changed this situation, I would say that he is the, let's say, this generator of better behavior.
Yeah.
Whoever is.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting because people always think, because you're like a technology guy, right? Are you?
Somewhat. I'm in sales, but smartphone sales and so on. But
this notion of like the or logic or the and logic, right? Where like you go, a lot of people think like to save a relationship, both you and your partner needs to want to work on the relationship. If either one of those do not want to work on it, it doesn't work. So if you look at the permutations there, right? If both of you work on it, then it's fine. But if one of you doesn't work on it, it's not fine. If both of you doesn't work, it's not fine. So the odds of reconciling seems so low if you look at it like that, right? It's like, it's so unlikely. Man, all these conditions needs to be perfect. But when you start to realize the importance of changing behavior and how you can't change people directly, but what you can do is you can change the behavior, the environment. You can change the culture, and that will change both of you, right? And we see that all the time. If you understand that, and you understand that it just takes one person to want to do it, now you change the odds completely. If you and your partner doesn't want to do it, then of course it doesn't work. But if just one of you does it, or both of you do it, so now you have a 3 to 4 chance. You look at it that way, right?
Because I would say just as also quite a lot of times you mentioned, it's really the problem of character. It is the problem of environment. And the issue is, looking at my wife, this is the same character in which I fell in love with in the first place. What changed? I created, and then she also did add to this environment. We both created this toxic environment. and then we both participated, and then here where we are. I had my misconceptions, probably she has some misconceptions, but if I start to work on my misconceptions, something will follow. I'm recreating this environment on my own.
And I think it works in a macro way, but also in a micro way. Macro way meaning, like, of course, like we talk about how creating safety needs to be the first thing you do. So if you create safety, you remove people's need to self-preserve. And if you look at a lot of the toxic behaviors that people do in relationships, like yell, scream, shift blame, stonewall. I mean, name anything.
Even lie.
It's usually a self-preservation thing. You remove that need to self-preserve. You remove that need to do all these things. And I think I saw that with my partner. I think thousands of people are seeing it with their relationship now too. And I think you saw it too. That's a macro way of looking at this. You change the environment, create safety, but even in a micro sense, even let's say you're fighting about the kitchen stuff, right? You can go two ways. You can spend your time gaming or justifying and say, like, your partner goes like, what's wrong with you? Right? You put it here. What's wrong with you? And you get attacked and you say, well, let me try to be better then. That's the best you can say. Or the couple can go, okay, nothing wrong with anybody's character here, right?
Yeah.
How can we change the environment, the way things run, the system, the processes, so that it's easier for you to put this there, to put this in the right place? Yeah. And if you look at any solutions in life that are ingenious, it's always the same, right? Like, think about, I always use the example of like ATM machines. I think you know this one, right? Like, if you go to ATM machine, what do? They dispense your card first. They force you to take the card, and then they ask you to take the cash, right? Imagine if it's the other way around. They put the cash first, and the card later. What happens? Everyone will forget the card. And that's what actually happened. Everyone forgot the card, right?
It used to be that way, yeah.
It used to be that way. But what if the person thinking about that blames character and goes, well, people just need to stop being so forgetful. It's their fault, right? If I was me, I would never forget my card. Well, no, to find that solution, someone had to go, oh, how can we change the system? How can we change the environment? That's another instance of life where someone changing the environment changes your behavior, affects you. It doesn't take two to tango in that case. There's no, like, let us work on this mutually. No, let me work on this for you. Let me change the environment for you. The ATM designer goes, right? Same thing for UPS drivers, delivery trucks. In the US, they turn right. They can turn on red here, right? They do that because it's faster, right? Now, someone had to think, how can I change the environment so that they can go faster? They can, instead of telling the drivers, like, just go faster. Right? That's massive. Another one I think you mentioned is around, another misconception is around this bulletproof mindset thing, managing emotions, right? You mentioned you saw a therapist and they said, you shouldn't feel this, or you shouldn't feel that, or that's okay, you feel that. But they didn't really do anything to change the emotions. I mean, we talk about this as a surviving or thriving mindset in our program. I guess how is your approach to that changed? To looking at emotions, to changing your emotions, to controlling that a lot better as well?
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, this autopilot mindset did really change. And now, let's say, really I'm focused on, let's say, detecting whenever, let's say, some bad interpretation happens that is producing some emotion that I'm feeling right now, changing this, in a more positive way. And let's say after I change it, I immediately observe it and I feel, okay, I feel now much better. And that's healing for me in a way.
Yeah.
Just be observant enough to take care of my own thoughts, not to be, let's say, letting them loose and be erratic and then be angry or way too emotional or sad or depressed or whatever is, let's say, in the long term producing this, let's say, even mental health issues can be addressed when we are, let's say, focusing on what is happening at the start, and then it's a process, sometimes things are better, more, it happens more faster. Sometimes it's more harder, depending on whatever is your situations at the moment, your environment, your, let's say, business situation or whatever. But this is a process, and every day is better and better. And this is why I'm quite happy with this program, and why I literally say, and even to you, I say that you saved my life in a way, not because you saved my life that I know, I'm something that is more healthier, but in a way I'm much positive guy,
you.
more. Yeah. I think
what I mentioned is like, I always say, like, I rescue people from mediocrity.
Yeah.
Right? It's like your life was good. Your life was okay.
Yeah.
You could probably have lived life without the program and be okay.
That's true.
But like they always say, it's like good is the enemy of great. Go ahead.
Yeah, but also in the way that, in a way, I'm not that animalistic anymore. In a way that I'm perceiving my emotions. You see an animal have some reaction to some moment. Emotions go. This animal starts to be really angry and so on. This was the case with me. I just let my anger go rampant and crazy in a lot of ways. Even with these situations where somebody is driving around or did some crazy stuff in the traffic, where he just how should I say, just go in front of me,
cut you off,
cut me off. Immediately road rage would be on maximum level. I used to even follow these guys.
Oh, really?
I will show you now. I will show you now. I will get to you on some next traffic light.
Yeah.
This was crazy. And now, and in the past, even my wife used to say, I'm really nervous driving with you, because you are just letting your emotions in the traffic. And we know that quite a lot of stuff is happening in the traffic. You just let your emotions go wild. And now what is happening? I'm completely blank in traffic, and she is the crazy. She is the crazy one.
That's funny because I see a lot of toxic men who would see that and go like, no, that's the way you should, right? If someone hits on my wife, I'll punch the shit out of him, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I'll stand up for myself, man. Like, I'm not gonna let you push me around like that, right?
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, it makes you feel powerful, but it actually makes you look very weak. Like, really, dude? That's your self-control? Yeah. Like, you kidding me right now? But
just some small child is crying inside of you. That is the only thing.
Yeah. And I noticed something interesting too, which is you mentioned like that shift of your emotions, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the important thing that people need to understand. And we might go 10 minutes over if it's okay with you here, beyond the hour. What's interesting is like, so if you look at the science of how emotions form, it's events happen, then you make an interpretation or your own subjective interpretation of that event. The interpretation causes the emotion, and the emotion forms. And one emotion can form more emotions. There's a flywheel going. Mm. What happens is a lot of people, when they try to fix their emotions, they try to fix their emotions after this flywheel has formed. So the event happened. They made the initial interpretation. They have the initial emotion. They feel angry. Their anger makes them even more angry because it leads to more angry interpretations. Before you know it, you're like in fucking rage, right?
Yeah.
Once you have made this emotional flywheel go on, and this flywheel can go on instantaneously. Like you could be sitting on a couch watching some stand-up comedy, and you could be boiling inside in a split second because of all the interpretations you're making. If you're trying to solve your emotion or fix your emotion after this flywheel, you can't stop it. The same way, like someone can tell you, dude, calm down when you're angry. What happens? Someone saying calm down makes you angrier. What the heck? How does that make sense? Right?
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of people do when they try to be bulletproof, is try to hold it in. When you're holding it in, that's what you're doing. You're trying to stop this flywheel that's spinning so fast in the wrong direction. You can't do that. So what we try to tell you to do is like, first, if we know that your paradigms cause your emotions, then fix that first. Automatically fix that so that the first thought, the first interpretation that you make is positive or is healthier.
Yeah.
Prevent the emotional flywheel from going in the first place. That's what we want. That's what true emotional management is. You program that stuff. And That's the difference. So if you're still holding it in, that's not bulletproof, right? But if you can really change your reflexive interpretation, that's when we become bulletproof.
Yeah.
I know we're running short on
And
time here, so I want to
yeah.
go ahead. No, keep going.
And it happens more, and it's really natural. It's not something that you need to force. You know, you need to push yourself. Okay, hold it in. Don't be angry. Don't be angry. Don't be angry. But you don't even develop this angriness. You know.
Yeah.
This is more important.
It's not tiring, right? So
yeah.
Some people say, I've been trying to stay calm for so long. Like, wait, then that means you're not bulletproof if you're saying that, right? Because it should be like, you don't need to take a vacation from your vacation. This is nothing. It's just a way you live. So tell me a bit more about your experience in the program, because you told me you had doubts about me, about my program at first. What were your doubts?
I mean, look at, I'm not much older than you, but I'm not that much older. But who is this young guy who will teach me? He's not even married, so he will teach me about my marriage. Because this your thought about that this needs to be some experienced guy who went through all of this crazy stuff that is happening in marriage, and because you want to have some tactics to address these situations, not to address you. This is the first thought. But as I said, I immediately fell in love with your philosophies in a way, what you are saying and how you are saying it. In your videos, it's all natural. That my opinion was okay. He's this young guy, but what is he saying is really true. I can relate to that. And when I did relate, I then, let's say, discarded my whole of these stupid notions that you need to be some old guy that have all the knowledge in the world.
But I think also because the program is obviously very different than what you find on YouTube, right? And so part of the challenge
1%. YouTube is 10%.
1%, 10%.
1%, 10%.
But one of the hardest thing for me, right, is just telling people or helping people to understand just how limited the YouTube videos are. And it's not because we're trying to limit it to be like, oh, no, this is only for people who can afford it. People who can't afford it, they get the shitty stuff. It's not that. The reason why we can't really go deep is because we can't build one idea on top of another on YouTube. Because I can't control what videos people see first, right? I can't control that. So I can't go very deep by that virtue. So when you first joined the program, after watching a lot of YouTube videos, because it took you about 3 months to enroll, I think, after you found it. What was your impression? What was your thoughts?
There is when I started this phase 1, there was so much information, so much richness in all of these modules. Every of these modules are like 2.5 hour long. I started to write all of the. I had my notebooks and I prepared myself, and then there's so much I'm writing down a lot of stuff. So a lot of information. You need to have some systematic way how you should set up all of this information to be, let's say, more open to you to grasp each of the important parts in whatever situation you are in, to better interpret what is going on around you. And then just first grasping our mental map philosophy, and just grasping that. And then let's say really important thing is just following whatever setup it is in, let's say, whatever the setup of the module is and phases. Even I had some ideas. I remember when I started the program, I asked you, let's say, cultivating observant mind and more quiet mind is something that should be in the start of the program, because I thought that this quiet mind can help you better learn. And then this is what a hypothetical mind was saying, and then you just answered me back. Don't you think that we thought about this? Don't you think that we had some reasons why we put it there? And then it's so rich. It's so much information. As I said, so much examples. You will find them in quite a lot of them. I found them in every of them,
That's actually the hardest part about creating this program, because the hardest part about this program is not the concept. The concepts are easy, right? Like safety, you have to untether, you have to be bulletproof. Here's how you become bulletproof. Here's the misconceptions of it. The hard part is, how do we create a program that allows people to be aware of what they're not aware of? You know what I mean? Because so let's say I know you're playing victim, for example, but you don't know you're playing victim. How do I get you to be awake and aware of you playing victim in all the subconscious ways, in all the repressed ways, in all the ways that you will never find out probably for the rest of your life that you're playing victim in this particular ways? How do I teach you the victim mindset so deeply for you so that you can be aware of all these things that you will never be aware of, you can't be aware of, right? That's the hardest thing. And I think the reason why the modules are so long is because I want to be able to create that effect, because this is not like teaching mathematics where you can draw it on a piece of paper and you go like, this is what 2 + 2 = 4. Y = 2 + 2 = 4. This is very personal, right? There's a lot of blind spots here.
Don't get me wrong, I don't have anything opposed to this, because it just reaffirms my opinion that this is something that will help me in the long term, because I don't have this idea that I need to have some quick fix, quick tools. This is something to better me. I don't know if you know, but I rewatched all of them again. So I don't care about the longevity of this, the duration of the videos, but because this is a process for life, it's not something that I will learn in next year and then I will just discard. I will use this program
for life.
Hopefully I will teach my child this stuff. Nobody did have information about this to teach me. I will. My idea, this is what I said in the interview, main idea for me is to quit this loop that somehow is programmed in me by my parents, by my environment, to change the perception and the interpretations of my child, so he can have a better life in a way than I had in these 37 years.
That is so good. That's the same way the reason why I created this program in the first place, because a lot of people don't realize too, like for me, personally, I found myself doing a lot of the same things my parents did that I hated. Even though I told myself I was never going to be like my dad, I was never going to be like my mom, I still did it anyway, because it's so subconscious. Like you don't even know that you're doing it. And it was until I realized it's breaking a generational curse forever. Like here, once you break this, imagine this family tree, right? This was the point. It changed everything. That's legendary.
And surely it will change for the better. Whatever is the outcome of this relationship revival, my relationship with my wife, whatever the final outcome is, we can be divorced, whatever. But surely this will change this negative loop of victimization, hypothetical
100%.
mind, not observant mind. This will change it, because I can teach somebody, my son, whoever is the next in my life.
Yeah.
And that is the only goal that I'm seeking.
Good.
Yeah.
So I think I'll wrap that up with this, because I know we talked for a long time. Guys, again, if you want to learn more about what Stipe is talking about here and really go deep, right? Really, if you're humble enough to the point where you can look at yourself and go, okay, I don't want to settle for this average life, this mediocre life.
Yeah.
Or I don't want to keep going to where I am going today. And you don't want to have all these manipulation tactics. You want to actually grow in a genuine way. And because you grow in a genuine way, you can reattract your partner and get all these things that you want to get for your life. Then I have a masterclass. It's an hour and a half long. At the end of the masterclass, we'll show you how to apply for the program. Yeah. Be sure to pay attention to the application process, because that's crucial. We only take in less than 10% of applicants. It's by design, because I want to be able to enjoy my work and enjoy the clients I work with. So, Stipe, you're going to say something. I cut you off.
And for the masterclass, it's free. Guys, just look at the masterclass, and just you will see how much it relates to everybody's life. It's nothing special in your life. It's not something unique what is happening to you. We all went through all of your phases in life, and we just applied, and then we changed our, let's say, everything is changed for me for the better.
Yeah.
This is why I'm saying that you changed my life, you saved my life.
So
thank you for that. Thank you for that. I need to express that honestly now.
Good. Stipe, what do you think of this interview overall?
Oh, I think it went well. I hope that due to this language barrier, I was able to explain in my own way to you guys that you understand what I was trying to say. Like every coaching call in our program, I like it very much. And it was, again, eye-opening in some ways that you expressed it now in this interview. And guys, just try to, let's say, learn more about what is Geoffrey saying. That's all I can recommend to you.
Yeah. Just explore it. Yeah. Any last minute advice for people who are currently getting like, I love you, but not in love with you, partner who's like completely checked out, almost given up. It's like, whatever, this guy can't change. Any advice?
Yeah.
Last minute ones.
It's just your hypothetical mind. Try to think differently. Try to think the opposite of what you're thinking, and just act on it. Don't be hopeless. Don't feel like, okay, you will probably feel that your world is falling apart, but act on it. Don't be a victim of your situation. Act on it. Work on yourself. It's not something that is taboo. In my country, it is in a way that, let's say, just small percentage of men is working on themselves. And this is why, let's say, our society is opening in that way. And when I talk to my peers, they really like this idea, especially women, saying, "You are working on yourself. Great, man! I cannot believe you as a guy, you are working on yourself." And that is the way. That is the way how you should operate and how you should do. Don't play victim and just work on yourself. Yeah,
it's like, don't try to manipulate. I'm going to buy you as a person when you as a person is not that great, right? It's like, become irreplaceable first, then all these mods will come. All these outcomes will come. All the things that you want will come. That's the only way. Like, if you try to manipulate someone into coming back, sure, they might come back, but you're going to sleep with one eye open forever, man. Like, it sucks, you know? Yeah. And you will never be perfect, but have a perfect process of bettering you, and it will flourish. It will, let's say, make the harvest. Yeah, I love it. All right, Stipe. Yeah. I know it's late for you, right? Geoffrey. Like 10 o'clock? It's 11 o'clock. Oh, shoot. Okay. That's all to do with that. Stipe, thank you so much. I'll see you more in the program. Thank you, Jeff. But this is so fun. Thank you, man. Thank you. Bye. Bye.